Good evening, free enterprise community, and welcome to a very special community Friday night race. This is a very interesting flag set we have here tonight. We have a K main and we have a loot goblin flag. What Infinius? I'm joined by Infinius tonight. My name is Lady Id. Infinius, can you explain to me what this loot goblin is about here tonight?
Well, going by these objectives, looks like we need to have Goblin Matron to be able to find out a whole bunch of goblins. We need to have Goblin Bombardment to throw all our goblins at our opponents, and Squeeze Toy because Squeeze Toy.
In all seriousness, well, that explains it all. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
in all seriousness,
with that explanation.
So in all seriousness, yeah. So the main object, so basically, it's called Loot Goblin because the main big thing that you're not used to seeing in multiple competitive flag sets is that we have the K trap flag on. So all the trap chests that you can find on both on the overworld, underground, and on the moon could potentially have our key item. So, for example, the Flame Dog chest could have our required path underground with the Magma Key, or more hilariously, the Earth Crystal. So things like that. Now, we have made it easier for our runners because with vanilla traps, all the traps are in their vanilla locations. So, if you know where all those trap chests are, you don't need to go too much into what's the word? Into looting every single chest because you know which chest you need to open. However, we might want to open some of these chests because we have the T Wildish flag on. So So places with trap chests tend to have better loot in it. So hence opening a whole bunch of good stuff.
Yeah, the one that our racers could very well race right to would be that Flame Dog chest in Zot. That could very well contain a needed key item. I would imagine all of our featured runners. In fact, let's go over our featured runners. We have Klopper, we have Poydrak, Rex Banner, and Pos Morpheus. All four very veteran players of this community, and all four, I'm sure, are very familiar with the locations of all of our trap chests in this seed.
Yeah, and lots of experience in that. So pretty much getting used to being able to just open chests and have fun with it. So, one of the other interesting things I just noticed with these objectives is that we have one of the objectives is to conquer the Vanilla Ribbon Room. We don't even need to open that. We just need to beat the boss. We also know that the two chests sitting behind that spot don't have our key items, so we're just doing the boss fight there.
Yeah, so we have, like you said, conquer the Vanilla Ribbon Room, trade away the Rat Tail, get Sid, liberate Baron Castle, and just open the treasury. You don't actually have to loot, you just have to open it. So, we're just kind of waiting now to get underway momentarily.
In fact, looks like we're underway right now. Well, we love to see that, right? As runners. Oh wow! So it looks like as our random starting kit, we got the meme kit. So we have a ninja shirt and a drain spear. And looks like that gold is required since we do actually need to liberate Baron Castle. So our Baigan / gold is required.
Yeah, I'm sure our runners will remember that, hopefully, 30, 40 minutes into the seed if, they get taken on some wild goose chase elsewhere. But a Rydia and a Porum start is certainly not very inspiring.
No, I agree. It's not very inspiring at all. Interesting speeds of the versions. We have both Poitrak and Possum Morpheus on the right, going through Watery Pass, whereas Coffer and Rexman are going to Eblin Castle to get loot. Interesting pieces of the versions. I think for Possum and Podrak, I believe they're wanting to see who the Sand Ruby character is afterwards. Since we are on a character hunt, knowing that the Sand Ruby is live is good information.
Yeah, and
whereas
in the Evelyn front, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say on the side of Evelyn, you have that's higher tier looting, so and since you know where the trap chests are, you don't have to fight the Stalemain four skull chest, not all the triple mad ogre or anything like that. You get to avoid that.
I didn't pick up on anything so far that really either pairs of runners have found. I mean, I see a power staff. I'm not really seeing anything too great. There's a Gaia drum on Pos Morpheus' side.
I think that there was two big pickups on the left hand side. We saw that there was a moon veil and a white shirt. White shirt basically makes Porom one of the best, and yeah, we just got a cursing as well. So, being able to having our anchor problem solved very quickly is also a good thing. White shirt also makes that Porom's Q1s is going to heal for a lot, and also is very good defense. And moon veils gives you a 1-3 fight essentially. With its barrier status. But yeah, the power shirt also on the right hand side, very good, in case we need to go archery.
Yeah, you see Podrak going all the way deep into the back of Watery Pass, which is not something you see very often if you don't have access to exit. So I'm not sure. Did our starting kit contain exit, or is this just taking advantage of the T Wildish and just the high amount of chests back here?
No exit. This is just purely just to walk through the entire thing. I think, as I said before, I believe the goal here is to route it so that Podrak gets to peek the character afterwards, which Possum did not do. Speaking of Possum, he's at Mount Hobbs checking the Hobbs character, finds the Yang, and I'm not sure. Is that the side of a cat claw? I think it is.
Yeah, that was a cat claw.
That's a cat claw. Oh, do both of them have a cat claw? Interesting. But yeah, uses the Grimoire to blag our way through the element spite, and we're done.
Yeah, that's certainly a very lucky Grimoire. The other thing you could have done, you could have used that Gaia drum on that Mylon, because even though he's immune to Earth as Mylon Z and elements, I don't know that he's weak to it, but he would take damage from that Gaia drum. So it's just a little bit of a funny FF4 things.
Yep, just FF4 things. Things don't really make sense until they do.
Right, that's the story of this game. Things don't make sense until they do.
Yeah. So interesting on Cloffer's side that Cloffer is also losing the back of Watery Pass as well, and also interesting for Rex that he's also gotten to check the summon spot first. Since we have Iridia, we can go through the front door, which is also a good heads up play.
Yeah, absolutely, because it lets you get that, get that loot, lets you kind of peek that character, and then lets you just get right into the boss, and then you can just come, right back out the front to leave.
Yep. So important thing from Podrak, I believe that was a vanilla rose I saw in the bed. So we know that Sand Ruby isn't required, but I think we'd probably rather have a Rosa than a Porom at this stage.
I'd still just like to have just a fourth, viable character at this stage almost.
I mean, I'd argue we currently have 0 viable characters, but that's just me.
I was trying to be nice,
Okay, no, that's not fair. That's not fair. There's one viable character in there. I'll let chat work out who I'm referring to there.
I mean, we get Yang about 30 more levels, and he'll start to be viable.
I don't know, I am probably more of a Yang fan than most people, so that was the.
Yeah, that was the hint. Oh, and there's a darkness crystal coming out of Antlion for Pos Morpheus.
well, at least we know that's required. That means that we know that's required because we need the darkness crystal to get to the Ruben room. We also need the darkness crystal to get to all the fun trap chests you can find. So like the 9 that's on in the lunar subterrane, or the hair dry the hair dryer chest that's in the lunar path, or and the most fun of all, the last arm chest in on the giants.
I would have to imagine Possum's gonna, immediately turn this in to, at least peep the character, which yes, looks like they're gonna be doing now.
Yeah. Let me just see if he actually makes a bold play, and because the Sonic Kit has hourglasses, it's actually tempting to see if you can snipe the hairdryer chest while you're going up there.
Yeah, if you have like you said, you have an hourglass, you have a couple J items. It still may not be fast, but it's definitely a play I think worth taking. At least I could see myself taking it.
And if my memory serves me correctly, I believe if Possum has a Leviathan summon I think I saw got picked up, then that actually speeds things up immensely because Rudia should have, I believe, 50 MP at this point, so we can get one Leviathan summon off, and that will help with the getting through that really quickly.
Yeah, meanwhile, we see Klopper and Rex Banner, taking care of their Antlion checks. Poidrak is also going to be entering Antlion, so, Pos Morpheus seems to have, kind of the edge at the moment, I would say.
I'm not sure if he has the edge right now, because we don't know who's on the Lunar Dais at the moment.
That's true.
Well, you got 2 letters correct there. There was an Ed of some sort.
Well, it's the character's name Spoon, not quite the same as actually having the spoon and having the spoon flag on and being able to equip the spoon, so I don't think that quite counts.
But one thing is, it's important that the spoon flag in this flag set is on, so you can't. So if we do find a spoon along our travels, that we can get that bird online pretty quickly.
Now, I don't know about you. My experience with having either an Eddy or a spoon flag on is I will tend to find either the spoon or the Eddy, not both. Probably about 90% of the way through the seed when it is completely not at all needed.
Yeah, that tends to be like I always pray to get Eddy going, because if you're able to get him going, a spoon early game can actually carry you through the early game pretty easily. Just know the 2 are, even though he's not gonna have that many multipliers, just having 255 base damage means that you don't need that many multipliers to really get through things.
Now the thing is, I see Possum kind of, outfitting all of his characters and kind of leaving Eddy alone. So, makes you think that he's going to be using him as an anchor. So, may not be gearing up to, to get Eddy any of the levels. But then again, does put Porm in the middle. So maybe does want to bank on possibly finding a spoon.
Interesting. So it looks like Possum is doing the play I in fact suggested, which exactly, in fact, Ooh, that's actually that's a. I think that might be a wipe potentially, because yeah, that's a bit unlucky there. Oh, actually, no, we might be okay. We might be okay now, because that young in the back row managed to survive all the hits, so it will just take us reviving Rydia and seeing if that's good enough to get us through. Meanwhile, I see that Klopper is defended for Bull, and I saw there was a DK Dark Knight Cecil there, I'm not sure who was the reward though. I missed that.
No, I miss it too. To be honest, I was paying attention to Possum's side just because of the hairdryer fight. The one thing that does help Possum's side is that he did turn the battle speed down all the way down to 6, which probably ended up saving him in getting the rest of these characters up.
And thank you to our tracker Sheep Launcher for being, doing good work there. It was just a Moonveil, so another ticket to a free boss at some point. But no, not now, basically. So interesting that the Leviathan was good enough to get 3 of the 4 hair dryers, but not the 4th. So we're going to have Young do some punching to just get us there. And I'll note that Eddie is down for the count. So
yeah, actually, which is good because then that leaves him open for anchoring duties. It's kind of just a slow play here, just to get that last hair dryer, and I'm just going to call it a hair dryer because I'm not even going to try to pronounce what that enemy, what that enemy is actually pronounced as.
Yeah, it's just a hair dryer. It's fine.
Yeah.
And okay. So on the downside is that was just a second Leviathan summon. But on the plus side, we do get a whole bunch of levels on our characters, so we can crash through Overworld a lot faster now.
Plus, Possum just picks up a curse ring out of one of those chests here in the Lunar Pass. So didn't get the curse ring from I forget where the other spot was, but now has one right in his back pocket.
Eblin's right tower, the chest on the left on floor 1, I believe.
Okay.
Don't ask me how I remember that. I barely remember what I had for breakfast, so and that was only 10 minutes ago. So give me a break.
Leviathan making good work on Klopfer's side, getting through the first phase of Lugae, popping that lit bolt. Doesn't have enough MP to cast another set of Leviathan, but would have to imagine they're going to be able to get through this fight. With Yang pretty much just punching him the rest of the way.
Yeah, it should. I'm not sure if it's unfortunate that Klopfer doesn't have a Thunderclaw here. That would actually speed this fight up significantly. Because Dr. Lugae in this form actually has the machine property, so Yang will be doing quad damage there. Not that you need that much anyway, because because the 4,000 hit points is split up for 3 or 4 ways. Well, we at least got a Pinktail from that, so another key item, not our progression, and we're actually starting to run out of spots. We only have 5 spots left by my count that we don't know on the overall, which could have our way underground.
Well, remember, we still have Zod, if that's what you're, if you're counting on that as well.
I counted that.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we have, no, I counted that. So we have Ordeals, which I don't think any of our runners have gone up. We have the Zot Flame Dog chests, and we have the 3 trap chests that are in Eblin. So slowly getting losing off. Oh, also there's a Rogue Demus if Demus happens to be on Earth somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think either of our runners have checked Mist or Waterfall yet.
No, I don't believe any of them done that as well.
Interestingly enough, Klopfer going for Watery Pass loot, which surprises me at this stage in the game.
Yeah, it does surprise me as well. I'm not good. I feel like once you've committed to all looting you intend to do, you probably have to go to a place that's a very high tier to want to continue looting. But yeah, interesting enough now, everyone on the that's being restreamed currently does in fact have a curse ring. They just happen to get them on in different locations.
Yeah, everyone's just pretty much following the same kind of progression now. Yeah. Actually, it looks like Klopfer is going to be the first one to be heading to Ordeals now.
Yeah. Yeah. Also very interesting in the sense that the two runners on the on on the right have all are basically up a hair dry check, whereas both Klopfer and Rexman are just slowly going through your normal progression of main checks and haven't in fact dived the moon at all for checks.
Yeah, but Possum now is set up pretty well to take on those, those 3 trap chests. I would have to imagine sets the battle speed down, but got Young at 22, about 1,000 HP. Queues up the Leviathan summon.
Yeah, Leviathan should be able to, I believe, should one-shot this entire thing. So this is why he's doing this now, because this is now an efficient way to just clean everything up. Oh, interesting. Hoydrak is doing this fight here because I guess he's wanting the XP here.
Right, because it's not K Summit, it's only K Main and K Trap.
Yep, so don't get me wrong, he's going to get a lot of good XP here, but I'm not sure if I would have done this personally.
Yeah, it's a lot of HP to get through, but it is a lot of XP at the same time. But yeah, you get through that, Leviathan summon. I don't know if he has enough MP for another summon. He does, so maybe enough to get through the 3 soldiers, and then just although you kind of have to wait for the officer to get wear off on the stop.
I think given that he's berserked the party, I think we're just our top 2. The 2 characters. No, we're just gonna kill the officer.
Okay.
Like it's only I need to look it up, but if my rough guess is that officer has around 21,000, I think. I have to look it up, but that'd be my rough estimate without checking.
Did we see what Possum got from the Staleman chest? I happened to look away.
I believe our tracker Sheep Lodger mentioned it was a defense sword. So, and our second one is a Stardust sword, which is good for Iridia, but that's about it. But all around is just being able to plow through our ordeals with Leviathan. Leviathan is a good thing to have early, sometimes.
Now, Leviathan's really doing great work for everyone. Without this Leviathan, this would have really been kind of a rude overworld and kind of a rude seed, or at least a very slow start.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like that is going to be one of those interesting, big things about that Leviathan can in fact just carry a seed early game. It does tend to drop off once you get underground, but early game is not as is where it's at.
When we get a second-rate Holy Sword, an X-Cal out of Ordeals, and we get the fabled Alt Gauntlet in the Mirror Room now.
Huh. So is it count as being like vanilla because normally that's a vanilla Legend Sword, right? But once you get the other, it then turns into the an Excalibur. Is that kind of vanilla or not? Like some variant of vanilla or not?
Yeah. I mean, they just decided to cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
Coco just wasn't in the mood. Just said, just give him the X-Cal. Forget it.
Yeah.
You don't need the adamant. I just give you the X-Cal here.
So this is an interesting call on Klopfer's side. Decides that's all gone and decides to bail. That's an interesting call since that it means that you're not going to be able to use any holy swords until you finish that. So, but having said it, it's also going to take a lot of time to actually do. So, in that sense, it makes complete sense.
Yeah, I don't dislike the play because you're not getting. I don't believe you get a full heal in between. So if you're
True.
not sweeping a Leviathan, what are you sweeping them through with? You know.
That's true. An important note from our track of Cheap Launcher that Nomad Ogre Chest in fact had one of the holy swords I mentioned. In fact, it was a crystal sword. So, but that also means, given what we know, that the Flame Dog chest is our way. Either a Flame Dog or a cheeky Demus is our way underground.
Well, we're going to find out very shortly with Possum taking this Flame Dog chest. While we wait on that, actually, I do want to call out Sheep Launcher as our tracker, Leggy Starstream as our, Leggy Starscream as our restreamer tonight, my co-commentator Infinius.
And thank you, Lady Id, for doing this comms with me. This is gonna be a fun one, as Possum Morpheus gets the hook.
Well, as the fabled memes go, hook routes are the worst. If you're the runner, not so much if you're the viewer / commentator. I'm very much looking forward to this.
Yeah. So interesting thing here. There, Possum Morpheus, as soon as after doing that, has immediately bailed. A part of me is hoping, being the mean person that I am, is that there's a Demus at the Mega Sister spot. Because that would be the one thing that would punish Possum for not doing that check while he was there.
Yeah, I mean, the odds that there's going to be something there, required. We're not on a boss hunt here, so the odds that it would be a Demus and then that Demus would lead to a magma key seem pretty low. And it's kind of a long walk to get to that Demus, and you can't warp or exit out, so you have to walk there, you have to check it, and then you have to walk out. Can you actually warp out? Okay, you can warp.
You can walk between the floors, but you still have to walk the last floor, but you can still warp everything else out.
Oh, okay.
So it's not as bad of a long check for a 130, but I don't know. I just think that if you're still on a Demus hunt, I don't know. My just personal inclination is to be thorough.
I was also just trying to make him feel better too, trying to put I mean.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If you want to save for lack of it, find edges, making gambles makes sense, right? So that is what I'm suggesting is about a minute. Will take a minute roughly. If you can cut that minute and just on the 29:30, that's probably worth it.
Interesting enough, Rex Banner also decided to take this officer soldier fight. Definitely needs the XP, in a I'm not saying a bad way, but it's going to be a good influx for them to get through this.
Yeah. Also important to note that we found in Sirens were in fact for sale, and they are in sale on the hook route. So we do have our grind pretty much sorted moving forward. Mind you, one of the things about K-Main Trap is that since you're opening so many trap chests anyway, you'll probably find that the grind doesn't matter as much.
Right, because you're taking so much XP from all these trap chests. There is one more to find down here in the save room, and then there's another one in the Babel in the form of the Mad Ogre chest. So there's, and Possum, of course, talking to the one NPC that says, hook seeds are the worst.
Oh, yuck. Okay, so that is CPU. That is good news. Okay, two good newses. One, we have a Fu, and Fu will help us basically power through early get the rest of this hook seed and possibly the seed. The second good news, that CPU is free-ish. The bad
Free
news is
with
that,
with time. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's just going to be
It's time.
slow.
It comes down to a matter of when do I want to just Quake strats, or it depends on what Fu, what spells Fu has. But at what point do you just say heck with it? I'm just throwing Leviathan out. I'm throwing Quake out. Just get me through this, and just
Well, it's
try to
actually,
take your chances.
well, it's well, it's actually interesting right now because Possum has only done 4 boss fights at this point in time. So this Fu is significantly underpowered compared to what you would have expected.
Yeah, I don't know that we've gotten a look at his spell set yet.
Oh, I didn't see nothing of note that would help through that fight. We have, I think there was like a elemental 2 spell was the best I saw basically, and that's not good.
Yeah, and I guess Rex must have wiped on that fight, because I just saw he just went back into that officer soldier fight. I guess got the hourglass off, but probably had their attacks queued up right.
So on the plus side, he should be able to get the swoon proc now. So it doesn't get the life glitch unfortunately because of timing, but that no. Still, we actually get through this a lot faster because we get to just swing just by having 4 swings with Kane. Or not, huh?
Yeah, swoon procs are weird, even with getting hourglasses off. They sometimes want to work and sometimes don't. I still don't quite understand how they work.
Okay, so, all right. I'm going to get super deep here. All right. So, this was discovered relatively. When I say relatively recent, I mean like last year. But the way the game calculates how you trigger status effects is based on the target's ATB. So that was why I was pretty confident to say that the officer was going to get sprint procced, because they had just the hourglass landed, and then the officer took the action to get the officers to attack. So that means that the officer's ATB was empty, which means that the sprint proc was basically 100%. So now, if the ATB had progressed at any shape or form, it would have been the odds were lessened.
So is that why you think it didn't work on the soldiers then?
Yeah, it must have progressed. Yeah, because the soldiers would have had would have been on a different agility. So different relative agility. So that's probably what caused that. Having said that, Rex is going to be out of this fight eventually, because the soldiers are now going to, even if they don't die immediately from damage, when they wake up and are no longer stopped, they'll just attack themselves.
Now, someone in chat brings up kind of a good point. If you find the magma key here, do you immediately just back out of this exit and then just take the magma key down, or do you proceed through the rest of this hook route?
I think I would. Alright, the point is kind of moot because we got the Sand Ruby there, which is a Rosa. But I at that point it's just so much quicker to just go through the to exit out and go through the magma key. You don't need. The one exception is if it. Oh, actually, it depends on how much of a gamma you want to take. Because if it's a demist at the King Queen spot, you kind of want to know.
That's a good point. So at least you can peek that, and then you can back out.
Yeah. So, like, it'll be again. It's all incredibly interesting to see what you'd do there. Oh. Okay, so this is rude.
Oh, this is extremely rude.
Yes. We're going to have to get, on the plus side, I believe Possum's probably has way more levels you'd normally have at this point in time, and has given the and I believe Rydia has I believe Rydia currently has a sorcerer. So yeah, this is 6,000 damage, but okay, that was good. That was good damage. Yep. I guess we are hoping. Yep. This is a very rude boss to see here, but again, we're through because we are actually heavily leveled. Posse was heavily leveled because of doing the hairdryer chest, which was a huge infusion XP. You normally wouldn't have done that. Also, with all the trap chests as well, that also tends to change things as well.
Yeah, I mean, Rydia taking 210 from an evil wall at this stage, that's not something you see normally.
Okay, I like this bold play. We are basically trying to kill do this the slow way, I think, because we're going to have. Because Possum North is aware that he can do this fight very slowly. As you can see, that's 2,400 hit point heal from CPU. That means that CPU has 24,000 hit points. So this is going to take a while.
Yeah, it'll take a little while, but like I said, I think at a certain point I could see him switching into, Leviathan / whatever Fu has to, kind of push through this.
Yeah. And just have to remark how efficiently Possum has actually gone through a whole bunch of these checks. It's actually quite impressive in that sense.
Yeah, plus the team is set up pretty well power-wise, just even if you just think about how he was able to get through that evil wall pretty efficiently. Yeah, I mean that's normally a spot where you're kind of kicking yourself and you're saying, how am I getting through this? And gets through it in one shot. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. That like knowing that there was you can have a setup to actually take on the evil wall is actually quite impressive. There, Leviathan doing was 3.5k, having a cane with a defense sword, I believe has helps a lot. Also, just having the levels, having done all those trap chests, also helps so much for that fight. But yeah, it looks like Cloffer is through with has his hook as well, and is just going to start diving the hook rat event shortly. I also did not check for the Demas at Mega Sisters, so I'm just hoping for this now, for the ultimate punish. Not gonna lie.
I mean, it has to be.
Yeah.
It just absolutely has to be at this point.
One can dream, right?
Well, that's what dreams are made of.
Exactly. So the other interesting thing is just to see is where we go from here. Once we are through the hook route, where we go from here. I think it's actually incredibly tempting to do. Once you get launch the Falcon, is to immediately land it and go up tower, because we have the tower key. We have the tower key. There's also that's 2 checks from K main, and there's also 4 checks from it being K trap, because there are 4 trap chests, 4 monster chests there.
Oh, it is absolutely. I mean, that's absolutely the right play, I would say. You've got the power. You've got Zeus Gauntlet. You've got the defense sword. You got Leviathan. You can clear through those 4, alert chests pretty quickly. You can. I mean, they're gonna peek whoever's at the top of tower, and then clear through cannon room. Yeah, this would be absolutely the right play. Instead of what you would normally do is go to Fey March and get your freebie, or talk to Yang, or maybe even hit up Dwarf. But yeah, for essentially 6 key item checks, yeah, absolutely the right move.
Now, correct my eyes, but I think we just got nuked from that CPU fight. That was an incredibly early nuke. That's 1100. Jeez.
Yeah,
That is
that means the rest of the seed just gets absolutely just blown up now.
Yeah, totally agree. That is. Oh, that's kind of rude on top of tower. It's since we don't have a Cecil.
Should be pretty easily though. I mean, it's gonna hit a little hard, but
it's just a stack of hit points. It's just gonna be slow. Again,
yeah, it's just a stack of hit points. Slow. Yeah, I mean, you went through CPU.
Yeah,
you can sit through that at this point, especially with nuke. You know, there's no wall on it. You know,
true.
Couple casts with nuke. You know, some Zerks, and I think you get through it pretty quickly.
But interesting that Possum is actually, I guess, healing up first.
Oh, I wonder if there's no camping supplies that any of our runners have. You know, I don't know if they have any tents or cabins.
Basic starting kit, so there should be some. But no, we're going to Dwarf first.
Okay, so we know nothing as commentators, apparently. I mean, it's not a bad place to go, knowing that you're on a character hunt still.
That's also true. That is also a fair point. No, again, being on that, yeah, very important point. The fact that we do need to find a Sid at some point does make Dwarf Castle, you know, a way to just check your objective. So that's also fair. Yeah, no, this totally makes sense, and I think the other important thing that happened there was because of early nuke. He knows that he can just blow up Dwarf right now. So as you see, he gave the curse ring to Young, so that Fu can just start nuking.
Now, the other thing that I just kind of remember too is we have the warp glitch on. Do we have warp on Possum's side to take advantage of that?
Yes, we have it on Rydia.
Right. Okay. Good point.
Now, Possum's about to learn the hard way that this is Witchburn, so unless he's trying to set up for something else. Oh my god!
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I can't say the language I want to say, but oh my goodness! Oh.
Okay.
Wow. So, Star Veils don't help with that.
Okay. We're gonna see if Possum Morpheus does is going to do the technically hilarious play. If Rydia gets to go first.
Yeah. What is the play here? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I know where you're going with this.
Okay. Now. So, what we could do is if we have Rydia act first and cast like a 0 ATB summon, like say Chocobo or Sylph, we can nerf the Meteor.
Nerf the Meteor, and then you can buffer in some other actions that actually looks exactly what he's going to be doing. That's just hilarious. Still kills up the Star Veils, though.
No, because there's going to be a counter
with yep, you're absolutely right. Counter with.
Oh no, they didn't come in time. So yeah, that's
Oh wow, is that?
I think he needs to go in. He might need to go in Battle Speed 6.
He is on Battle Speed 6.
Or was he? Oh.
Yeah. Did he have a curse ring on that Young though?
Yes, Young did have a curse ring.
Oh goodness. Yeah. We'll be coming back to that. Maybe never.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Yeah. Yeah. I guess Chocobo has too long of a delay, so it must
maybe it could have maybe a 2-tick delay. Yeah.
Alright, so maybe it actually needs to be Sylph, because I think Sylph has no delay.
Yeah, Sylph has no delay, and Chocobo has just enough. Yeah, 2, I think it is. Oh, that's just fantastic. We see him setting up, keeping that Yang down to keep that agility down, and I don't know what else you can hope for other than a curse ring to get his agility down at this point.
No,
I don't know what else
he already
can
has
wear.
a curse ring. He already has a curse ring.
Yeah, but to get through that,
another one,
Wyvern now, like to get out that Chocobo before Meteo comes out.
Like I said, I think what he needs to get is literally Sylph, because like he needs to get a thing that can cast quicker, doesn't have as much of a delay, and I think that can solve that problem.
Where did we see Sylph? Because at least one of our other runners does have Sylph. I think Klopper might have it.
Oh, it's a free sum from Hobbs. Oh, that's actually interesting, huh?
I don't know that you.
Yeah. So to answer Info, the thing is that our party should be like that. Reader should be RA1 already with a cursed Yang. Yang with a curse ring at this level. I'm pretty sure would have be agility 2 or 3 at the most, if not negative. So that's not the problem. It's just an incredibly tough execution thing.
It's incredibly tough. I mean, you're hoping beyond hope that it's just not a hard required situation.
I'm hoping for it, not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, let's be honest. 9,000 damage Meteo. That's just absolutely hilarious. How much would that do in the second spot? Because that second spot has, like next to no
nothing.
magic attack. Yeah,
it'd be nothing. Like, it'd be like doing this. Although having said that, doing that. Is this even? This is even. Come on, Leggy.
Really? Who rolled this?
But yeah, the point I was trying to get is, so basically the way it stands, the way you get through that fight is you actually need to get I think you actually need 2 nukes. 2 nukes would also work. Because it's only a touch over 8,000 hit points on that Wyvern, you just nuke it down before it gets to do its Meteo, and that would also get us through that fight. Yeah,
you just have to trigger that. You just have to trigger that mega nuke, and that would be enough, right? I mean, just 2.
No. What you do is because we're not going to see the Meteo. That's a way out as well. By just killing Wyvern before it actually gets to Meteo, that will also get us through that spot.
Oh, right, because nuke has no it's instant, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Instant.
Okay.
And with battle speed 6, you should be able to get 2 nukes off. But that is after so we're going to the last location. That basically is what I'm saying here.
You mean we're not going right to that after taking this top of tower?
Actually, Stardust Rod, Sork Robe might mean that Possum might have enough damage to do it with just by nuking with Fu.
I would just be incredibly scared of like kind of sunk cost fallacy, like just going back and then wiping again and just wasting that time. Would just scare the heck out of me going back to that.
I think so. I suspect what Possum is actually doing and this is just me hypothesizing here. He's just not thinking. He is looking at this right now as like, I'm going to do this now while I think about how I should tackle that spot in particular. Because there is still 2 checks he can do. It's a very efficient check to do, and once you're through that first spot, you should be good to go. It's just getting through that spot is the hard bit here.
Yeah, getting through that first spot is probably the hardest thing you're going to find in this entire seed, Z included.
Well, at low levels anyway.
I mean, at what level could you possibly take that? Also, a karate giving a pan. That there's something to be said about that.
Yeah, this is also very good for Possumorphis because it means that he can now go and do he can just check Fey March right now because actually you probably hold off on Fey March, but like you can do Sylph right now. If you feel like it, you can do the Toad Lady chest along the way, and yeah, and then once you go back to full, that's 2 efficient checks.
Right. Plus, you do have the 6 other chests if you want. I mean, if you have a Fu at RA1, you can quickly kind of sweep through all of them. Maybe you hope you get an Earth Crystal and maybe Sid's at Zot.
I'm not sure if that works. No, because we would need to ensure that Fu has Quake Low. I'm not sure. And even then, that would only work for the Ghost chest. It might not necessarily work for the Centipede chest or the double Morbo or the double Morbo double dark tree.
That's right, with the amount of HP they have on there too, or at least the marbles, yeah.
Yeah. So the main thing we got from this was the pan. We have one half of Forge as well. Like, so that is only an Excalibur. We don't have the Super Smith flag on, so not entirely valuable there.
We see him going back down. Is he gonna try to take?
I think he's gonna go for it.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see this happen.
This only makes sense if he's doing this right now.
Now, interestingly enough, I didn't check too much Rex Banner, but I did see him just warp out and then exit out of Babel. Do you have any ideas what that might be about?
I'm not sure, honestly. It's that is an interesting call. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe if he struggled, he wants to. He wants the Rosa.
Oh, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Although you have to find some way to get her some levels, which can be a little tricky. But yeah.
Oh. I guess I don't think Rex actually got peaked this earlier, so it makes sense if you think that if you don't know if Sid was there or not, so this kind of makes sense. But yeah, I'm actually just going to see if a possibly gets through this because this is
I think all eyes are on this right now. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, nuke for that's a lot. Oh, we got virus. Virus might help. Nah, that's a wipe. Okay.
I mean, he was what, about 1,000 or so HP away?
1-4, I think. So.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't have the Sorkro.
Oh, I thought he didn't. Oh, he had the Stardust, not the Sork Robe.
Yeah.
That might be enough to push it up, and I think that's what he's thinking now.
Yeah. Because all he needs to do is guess, I believe, a swing, a nuke, and then a swing from Kane. That might be enough. But yeah, this is all very fascinating to try to work. And truth be told, this is not an easy thing to try and puzzle together to see if there's a way to get through this early. This is a gamble. We're like gamble.
Golf commentators, just like silently watching and just waiting to see like how this is executed.
Yeah, it again trying to and we have to keep in mind that Okay, a few things we need to keep in mind. Yep, first shot nuke. Yeah, that works. We're for. Well done by Possumorphis.
Wow, that was
piecing that together was hard.
that was something else. Yeah. Even if you get absolutely nothing out of this, he's kind of won this siege just by virtue of puzzling that together. That was most impressive.
Okay, so unfortunately Sid is not here. So
yeah, that's just a Beigen. On Rex Banner's side, he's checking Miss Cave, and that was just a plague. Does get a nuke for his foo.
Yeah. Oh, that might be the other thing that Rex might be doing. Is might actually just be trying. Oh, this is a spicy thing. I think we're about to see here. We might actually be seeing Rex Moondive, which I think is a very bold gamble, and I'm here for it.
That's a very bold gamble, but you know what? Yeah, with K Trap on, like you said, you've got 9 LST chests. You know what? It could absolutely pay off. There's no reason it couldn't.
Yeah, like early nuke means that no. We might. Yeah, like I said, I'm here for it. Like, I like bold plays. This is a big community race. There's 18. It's not just these ball. There's 14. We have 18 races total in this race. So I'm here. Sometimes you just gotta do be bold and make plays like this in a big race like this.
Yeah, I thought Rex already had taken the hair dryer's chest too, but
apparently not.
Apparently not. Yeah, going to be taking that, and then I am very much hoping it just goes right to the LST after that.
Oh, okay, that's huge. So Warp Glitch gives us Earth Crystal. So we have outs.
So that was that the pass as the first, and then
pass is the first
Earth
item.
Crystal.
So,
okay, Earth Crystal as the Warp Glitch item from Sealed Cave.
Yes. So makes this interesting. So that Wyvern is technically not required, but we have no idea. We have no idea where that Lucky Key is. So,
I mean, now I would. Do you do Fey March? Do you just go right to Earth? Oh, it looks like he's going to be going up. I guess going Fey March. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like this since you're probably going to be here, just because you just want to one shot this. So at this point, so probably just go do the because you get to do the warrior chest on the way down as well. And you also know that because Case Summon is off, like you're just checking the boss to see if Demus is here, and then you're on your way.
Yeah, I definitely don't dislike it. Putting, if you're going to be someone who's going to be putting off those LST chests, then just do as much as the overworld as you can before you commit to that, because it's going to be quicker than trying to deal with anything the LST has to offer with this party.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, since we have a foo, like LST chests aren't as big of a problem, except for 2, I believe. There's 2 chests which will be problematic to say the least. The first, both of them have a red dragon involved. Let's just say.
Well, I think it's not only that, but MP. Fu, only has 190 MP. Nukes 50 MP. So
yeah,
3 casts, and then what are you doing after that? You're running to the save room after every second or third chest. It's awkward. It's time consuming. So I don't blame anybody that doesn't necessarily want to dive right for that. That's a spoon out of that Fey March free me.
Yep, and we also got the Legend Sword from the warrior chest. So 2 key items. So 2, 4, 6. I believe that's 10 key items. Yeah, so Possum's out 10 here. So all these chests, we're going to get double XP from here on out. Let's go. So grinding is going to be a breeze.
Yeah, going to be checking these spots, but if it's not demissed, then...
So do you want to fight Mylon or Mylon in Fey March?
Can I fight? Can I get back to you on that? I can't make up my mind if I want to fight Mylon or Mylon.
Well, the answer is neither, because we don't have to touch them at all. So we get to say, we get to have him fall flat to the deep ravine all night long.
Where the other one can lose his body, but turns out he's going to be keeping his body tonight.
Now, Scarlet Key has a good point. Self-love and self-care is very important.
Oh, that is. Yeah, that's actually really sweet. Two Mylons hanging out together and just living their best lives.
Oh, interesting. This is not what I was expecting from Possum. He is actually going to go dive the Poison Treasury. Yeah, meanwhile, Clopper is about to get the very interesting news.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be doing this again. Great for us, but horrible for the runners.
But I guess this actually makes sense for Possum, because he knows he has an RA1 set up, so he can get the free ghost pretty quick. It's gonna be pretty quick to get the ghost off. Kill these ghosts as quickly as possible. Now's the best time as any.
Klopfer just taking a couple seconds to wonder, just what the heck did I just run into there?
Yeah.
I actually missed what the first. Did you catch what that was from the ghost chest?
Dragoon armor. Also,
well,
in
that's
the meantime,
not progression.
Look, Dragoon armor is going to be very important when we get to LST if we need it to do it.
Very true.
Also, that Bahamut summon is also going to be very good once you get there, because that's essentially a second source of AOE to get through those trap chests on the moon. Although I would not recommend doing them against behemoths.
Yeah, it turns out they don't like summons. They don't like much, actually. They don't like you really doing anything against them, but summons especially not.
Yeah. But yeah, interesting to see that actually. Just talking, switching to Rex for a second. He's opting instead of doing for the hook route, we are opting to basically just do a grind, which I find interesting.
I don't dislike it. I mean, if you're committing to LST chest, you might as well, get your grind going. That's and true. Then, try to sweep your way through them, because they're, like you said, some of those LST chests are going to be they're going to be tough. They're going to be a little rough to get through.
Yep. So far, a lot more misses on Possum off his side of the field. We've just gotten both not just fake actual Hanzo and also fake Hanzo. But we have 2 chests left, so who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky in the last 2. And Klopfer is also through that Wyvern fight. Direct cast works at direct cast, ends up working.
Yeah, I managed to get a hit off, I think, with I'm not sure if that was Kane, but yeah, that nuke. Good job on them. That's very well done on their part too. Just second try.
Yep, that's fair enough. And I guess that was a complete whiff on on the poison treasury, because I don't think I saw nothing of notes from poison treasury. So that was
Yeah, other than that, the Bahamut summon.
Again, you don't hate to see that, but yeah.
You like to come away with like some key item, some form of progression. I mean, you don't need a 10th key item, but a Baron key, even a package, you would even take, but just.
Well, package we definitely want to take because we are on a character hunt, so
Yeah, and friendly reminder, we're an hour into the seed, and our tracker sheep launcher has yet to be able to push a single button other than for key items. That's wild to me.
That is wild, actually, huh? Yep. So now Possum is now fully cleared the poison treasury. Fully cleared itself and gets. Well, you don't hate to see an Avenger.
No, I mean, for you have a cane. I mean, that's great to see. If it's going to be, a bust, sure, I'd rather have it be, an Avenger. But still, we're pretty sure K-Trap is on. We're almost 100% positive it's on, but.
We know it's on because we got the hook from the Flame Dog chest. That was a progression underground, and also we got the I want to say Sand Ruby in the chest. We got Legend Sword in the chest. No, it's definitely on.
Yeah, so the seed's saying, "What are you complaining about? We're giving you key items. We're just not giving you many of them. That's all."
Ooh, okay. I like this play from Rex. We are doing giants.
Giants on the table. Okay.
Yes.
As you mentioned,
it's a character check.
It's a character check. Yep. And you have the last arm chest, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Oh, I missed. Okay, Cloffer actually checking dwarf. I missed what it was. It's internal orders. Thank you, sheep launcher. So now Cloffer being the people's champion and actually checking drop dwarf.
What do you think the difference is between an internal auditor or an external auditor?
Well, it's in the name, right? Like one you get you audit your own internal business, and external means you actually get someone from outside the business to do that. It's like it's in the name.
You're not wrong. Oh, and there's an Avenger for Rex Banner just in a chest. Don't have to take a K-Trap and a Zeus Gauntlet. This giant itself, just the chests alone are paying off.
Yep. But yep. Totally agree. And we actually get to upgrade from... Oh, he has a Mute Knife on because he was doing Warlocks. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Had to think for a moment there. It's like, why would he only have a Mute Knife? But no, all good. Oh yes, Passer gets to live the dream of single dip for ball. Finds out that full defense was a zonk, but we might be in luck with Sheila having the goods.
Sheila most definitely usually has the goods, let's say.
Well, you were talking about a package before, right? So that's a start. That's potential.
That's a start, yeah. You don't normally go right to check that, but I would think if you're an hour into this, you have yet to light up a single objective. I think you go for that, and there's a rat tail.
Well, so hey, we actually have our first objective on restream at about an hour 6 in. Once Possum gets over there, rat tail is an objective.
So what do you do now? So you turn in that rat tail, I would assume, and then do you check package, or do you go right to Zot and check those two characters?
I think your buy should go to Zot, right? Like two characters beats one character, right? Just pure math.
That's the way math works, I believe. Yeah. I think two is greater than one. someone can
Well,
correct us.
well, at least we know what our intended way to get the Earth crystal is now. Just has to go to the giant. It's fine. Interesting. So we actually get the twin hut. The twin hut from the rat tail, and I so hope this giant's required now. Oh my god.
Is this gonna? Oh, this isn't Ogo. Oh, wait, Rex is not feeling that Ogo too much.
No, I wouldn't be. I'm not gonna lie. Please, come on, be a zonk, be a zonk. That's a zonk. That is a Cecil. Given that Possum hasn't even gone up all deals yet. No, I think we're actually gonna pass on that. I think.
Yeah, that is a long. I mean, especially the fact that you have that gauntlet waiting there. Yeah, that's absolutely you skip that.
Well, Possum doesn't even know that it's gauntlet there. That's the thing.
That's true. You're. So he hasn't even been
into
ordeals yet, right?
This is hilarious. Yeah, but yeah, second object down for Possum Morpheus, and he is being the people's villain by not actually racing that treasury at all.
Wow, just completely fading that treasury.
I know, that's disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, look, I would have done the same thing, but still, an hour into the seed, I mean, you know, I don't think loot is your problem now.
You gotta do it for the people. The people demand it.
You're on Restream, right? You got to give us a music check. But Interesting Now is going to be going up ordeals. That's surprising to me. What do you make of this one?
So here's the thing. Since we know where Cecil is, we have a shiny sword, the crystal sword for him, and I think even though we're currently hour 8 in, I think I really like a Cecil at this point. No, still. The downside is because it's not going to take us that long to get him online. We know that there's sirens for sale, and Crystal Sword Cecil will wreck house, just pure and simple.
Yeah, but you could go up Zon and Cecil could be there. Like I'd almost, rather check that first. Look, Possum's we'll say, I'm just gonna be extremely sarcastic and say a slightly better racer than I am. So I'll be very curious to ask them what their thought process is. But I'd almost wonder if you just go Zot first.
Yeah, you do raise a good point. It's interesting because I'll be thinking the exact same question because I do think I'll probably go up all deals only if I knew there was a Cecil at Zot.
Doesn't save between either of these two bosses, so does he go through this now once he sees that first encounter or sees that just that slight pause between the blue robe and the encounter?
He was just setting up a save scum. Interesting.
Okay. All right. You know what? And then he's right outside of music. So then he tells us, you know what? I am going to be a runner of the people after all.
I'm not sure how I feel about that save scum, but on the plus side, we are getting music. For chess perspective, we are getting music. So, interesting.
I can kind of see it now because you get the key item check. So if that were Baron key, I think you sit through that, but because it's not, now you say, it's not worth it to just for a Cecil. So I can kind of see it. maybe figures it's faster than going through Zot. Also probably figures, once you get done music, you're you took the save right outside of Troya. You go into music, you get music done, you come back, and now you're right in prime position to go to Zot. So I think probably from a routing standpoint, that's probably what he's thinking.
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, speaking of what's going on possible this side of the field, I do believe we are about to get entertained. So I guess it's, as much as I'm sure people want to actually hear us talk all over this piece of music, I suppose we'll be quiet and let everyone enjoy the sweet tunes from the Backstreet Bard himself.
All right, well, that was Super Mario World. Yeah. Possum just memeing along a little bit. 2 swings from Avenger Kane and comes up with a Baron Key.
Oh, that is okay. This is probably very good news for Possum Morpheus, because now we get to because this is essentially Go mode. Because we now know we have access to all the character checks in the game, and then we can just swing our way to the Ribbon Room, and Baron Castle is our last object. So Possum Morpheus doesn't know where the Sid is, but doesn't need to open any more chests from here on out.
Unless Sid is at the Giant still, we still don't know.
I mean, true, but he can act. But eventually, over time, what he's going to do. He's going to do Baron Castle because that's a required objective. If you get Sid there, great. He's in Go mode. If not, he'll probably go to Zot next. And if that ends up being a complete bust, he doesn't even need to do the third fight. The boss fight there. He's just going to go straight to the Giant because that is his last character check.
Speaking of which, Klopfer does go up Zot and does find a Sid. In that first spot, so they get their
also interesting
split up.
Also interesting that there was in fact a duplicate Cecil and it was at Zot. So
oh my goodness.
So we are in no mode. We know everything we need to actually complete this game to complete the seed. Moon is absolutely utterly haunted.
Well, you have to at least do the vanilla Ribbon Room, but as far as but you can do that as your absolute last thing before Z.
Yeah. So who remembers about this goal base from an hour and 15 ago?
That's good memory. It doesn't look like Possum seems to remember it, but honestly, it's fine. This is going to be fine. This is going to be absolutely fine. The more annoying thing is going to be just waiting because of the agility situation for him to actually begin the Shadow Dragon script.
The other issue is obviously the Avenger that Kane is swinging with. So to a point where we actually do have to do this just to speed up time. Yeah, and of course Possum would also cough and Porum because he would.
Oh my goodness, of course he would. Of course. I was thinking it too, but just memes are on full display tonight.
Yeah, yeah. So in case anyone that is unaware, Possum is, let's just say politely, not the biggest fan of Porum as a character. Just slightly.
You might say he dislikes Porum, maybe a little bit.
Maybe
it was an accident. I don't know.
It's possible. It might be something we might have to ask him in the interview. That's always possible. Just gotta make sure.
Oh, now we see Klopfer going for this giant play.
Yeah, it's funny from Klopfer's side. So one thing is we know there's no other finishers at the moment. I am less so a fan of this giant play because you're literally only playing for the giant trap chest at this point, and nothing else.
Which, I mean, it could have a Sid. If you have a Sid here, that's kind of a big brain play, but you also have to get through that Ogo.
Well, Klopfer already has the Sid, so this makes less sense.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so what is the? I guess if you're hoping for a Mist Dragon, actually, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It's an interesting play. Might be something we might have to ask Klopfer, in a future interview.
Or maybe just wants the last arm chest. If it's nothing, and then just resets out of it.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not a wrong approach to take there. So while we're actually seeing identifying, going through checks that all the rest of the runners have already gone through, and since we are in no mode, a huge shout out to a restreamer, Lady Starscream, for rolling this amazing seed. Thank you very much to Sheeplodge for doing all this tracking, and thank you, Lady Id for doing commentary with me. This has been a fascinating seed.
Yes, and thank you to Infinius as well. This has absolutely been a treat to commentate. If nothing else, just to see a Wyvern with a Meteo, I think that alone was worth it.
Yes, and getting to talk through potential ways to nerf it through the highly technical thing you can do there. That was great. But it looks like Klopfer, given that he is in Troy right now, he looks like he's going to be on his way to Go mode very shortly. Possibly is getting the bad news that there's only a Palom, in Baron, is most likely going to go to Earth Crystal after this, and to get the Sid, and it's going to be in Go mode very shortly. But yeah,
I'm trying to think in my head right now, like which one of our, runners on Restream right now is in the lead. Is it Possum? Is it Klopfer? It's kind of hard for me to tell. I want to say it's Possum, but
it would also depend on levels. I'm not sure what. I think it is very close, however. Like, I would actually suggest it's probably Possum, because once Klopfer gets through this, he still has to get through the Baron Castle chain. So
yeah, that's a good
unlikely.
Point. Yeah, plus you do have to sit through music. That's between the both of them. That's that's going to be some long cutscenes. Not that we're upset about hearing more music, but yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a long check.
Ooh, yeah, kind of unfortunate decision there to go for the virus, because there's now a non-zero chance we might get a whole bunch of HP runouts once the week happens. It'll cost a couple of seconds there, but it's unfortunate. Hey, did I call this Demon that Mega System earlier?
Really? Seriously?
I just...
We promised we had no extra knowledge about the seed before we start.
I look forward to giving Poss a heck for that.
I think you need to buy yourself a lottery ticket after this. This is... While we sit about that, we are going to be quiet again as Klopfer is going to be getting us another wonderful music rendition.
So yeah, another lovely rendition of the ending theme for Super Mario World. Klopfer is essentially knows what he needs to do to finish this off the seat, and is going to be on his way straight to Baron Castle. Meanwhile, Possum also has gone to seat, is out of Tower Zot, and will be on. I'm sure will be on his way to the room very shortly.
Yeah, it does look pretty good on levels. I don't know if he picked up any sirens. I think, what did we say they were in Evelyn, I want to say?
Evelyn.
Yeah.
Because Evelyn had sirens and I believe elixirs. Of course, the sad thing about all this, for what it's worth, is that because of all this, we're not going to see any of the Moontrap chests. I always want to see our runners have to check for the red and blue dragon chests, because that chest is very rude.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're not going to see it, and we're not going to see it. That makes me sad.
Yeah, that is super sad to not have to see that tonight. I mean, you don't blame them, but still.
Yeah.
Come on, give us what we want. Put yourself through rudeness for our entertainment.
But no, Possum's just going to dive straight to Ribbon Room. Probably, maybe do a couple of siren. Has a whole bunch of mute bells. So I guess we're going to do Warlocks.
Yeah, we might actually see those mute bells come up to the top. Yeah, so maybe
we might see a light 2 grind here. With food, that means you only need to have one siren, or a couple of sirens. But by life touring the enemy, even though they come back, they still have any status effects they have. So the fact that a character is muted will stick. So,
in all seriousness, is this something like that is required, or is this, is this I don't want to say showing off, but is this like showing off the mechanics, I guess I would say. Because it seems hard to pull off.
I think it's a function of not wanting to go saving time because he doesn't want to go back and buy more sirens, because that would if he's getting a Life 2 grind, that is, because that would basically involve ooh, I think he might be good, because that basically involves a whole bunch of time. That's all. It's just a trade-off, is the thing.
Yeah, he does only have 2 sirens. That's a good point.
Yeah. Oh, is he out of life potions?
Does have life potions.
Interesting. Meanwhile, Rex is finding out the hilarious white meteor Big Bang. So meteor, so Witchburn. So oh well.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That just will never stop getting a laugh out of me. I mean, if it were me, you know, I don't know if I would be laughing quite as hard, you know, to be fair, but that's just all kinds of rude.
Okay. I guess it also, given that we have 10 key items, I guess it doesn't actually matter if we go for Life 2 grind, because we're hoping that's the spot at the mind going blank, at the river, and should get the rest of the XP of the way to get to Nuke. So that's also reasonable.
Will that be enough to get Riddy up, though? I wonder.
So we're getting. So we should be getting about 100k here with these life glitches, so that should be okay. Should be the operative word here.
Riddy only needs what? Literally almost 1 million to get to Nuke, I think it is.
Oh, no, over 1 million. It's over.
Over 1 million.
Because the developers really hated Riddy for some reason. They thought summons were overpowered.
I mean, look, that was my preferred method of clearing through the game. Just spam Leviathan, the spam Bahamut. Counters be darned.
I mean, well, to be fair, at least with Paladin, you can actually work around the counter by having by floating.
That's true. Yeah. Did younger me think of that?
No, probably not.
Probably not. Bahamut, Cure 4, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, works. Probably do not like the Ogre Pogo fight, I imagine, as a kid though. Oh, I suppose actually Cure 4 also works there too, doesn't it?
Yeah, Cure 4 surprisingly works on a lot of things, and just having high HP. Yeah.
Actually, real question. When you were a kid, did you fight all random encounters, or did you run away from all of them?
I was someone who ran away from a lot of random encounters, so I did not do a lot of grinding. It wasn't until I got older where I said, you know what, I should probably start actually taking encounters.
You know what? It's funny because like young me was the exact opposite. I would fight every single encounter, and it's only until like a couple years ago, it's like, oh, you know what I can do? I can just run away from encounters and not have to fight them. That's only come around as I start running just randomized. It's like, oh, that's an option.
I think
I could do instead.
One time, in my many times playing vanilla, I actually got Riddy up to Nuke, and that was probably just grinding, moon encounters. But before that, yeah, it was a lot of like, I'll run from encounters. Cloffer's heading down. Cloffer's not that far behind Possum here. Just now getting into the LST. Possum's going to be, I would have to say, through this accidentally whites. Well, I don't know if that was an accidental whiting that Sid.
Well, I will say, if it was an accident, it was a very happy accident at that, because I don't think he wants to get any more levels on Sid anyway. So it kind of cool in either way.
Yeah, happy accident, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. But yeah, that is all objectives complete on Possumorpheus side field, having defeated all those Dance Sisters. There's also gets nuke from it, so yeah, calculated to a T. Hey, another crystal sword.
Well, we
Ooh.
have 2 Cecils, so you know, you could go back and grab one. I don't think that's gonna happen. Oh, we're doing swag walk here. Okay, we're doing this.
I'm here for. I mean, from Parsons' perspective, this makes complete sense because even though there are 8 other races, we have not seen it done from anyone in this race. So this is a place to try and go for first. So Lady Id, I have a question.
Yeah. What's your question? It's kind of a random time for a question, but yeah, I'm here for it.
So what? Do you know why we would actually go through and have all these Z flags in chat?
We want to see Mylon Zed.
Well, we know where Mylon Z is, either in the Sura spot, or the Leviathan spot. We don't know which one, but definitely there.
Oh, now I get it. Oh, it's not Mylon Zed. It's Z for Zeromus, because of course we're not moving the final boss of the game, because the final boss of the game is extremely rude, extremely hard, extremely tough. So instead of moving the final boss, we instead, as we randomize most of this game, we randomize the final sprite of Zeromus. So when the crystal comes out on Zeromus turns into one of over 500 different sprites. Some are cute, some are terrifying, some are not cute. But yeah, we're going to be finding out very soon which Z sprite this is going to be. Actually, I have a follow-up question for you.
Oh, really now? Okay, cool. What is this question?
Whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
That's a good question. I'm hoping for I'm in the mood for some Ace Attorney, so let's go for Edgeworth Miss. Personally. How about you? What are you hoping for?
As terrifying as it is, I'm partial to the moon from Majora's Mask.
Oh, that is a terrifying.
It's very terrifying.
But yeah, Crystal being used by Possum. Let's find out who wins the lottery here. Leggy! Dang it, Leggy! How could you? Why would you put yourself in as a Zeromus sprite?
Is it leg? Is it actually leg?
Apparently it is, in fact, leg.
I have never seen this one. Is this one, like, new? Or...
No.
No? Okay. No. Alright. I've literally never seen this one. This is fantastic.
But yeah, this is not a new one, but it's because we would always there was the meme of is it leg whenever Ruby Kante shows, because you have to admit that is an amazing leg.
Oh my goodness, yeah, there is some muscle definition on that leg.
Oh, it's not just the muscle definition. No, it's just all the actual the clothing that's on as well. You know, you just gotta adore it. We all adore legs here, right?
I mean, I can't help but just stare at the magnificence of this. Oh, and as our tracker is pointing out, Klopfer is opting to use the pass instead to access their Z fight.
Yeah, looks like he's also going for a hybrid strategy as opposed to going pure one way or the other. So yeah, but if possible, she takes a wipe here, Cloffer is well and truly in the driver's seat because no, with a relatively safer party. Meanwhile, Project is also about to get liberate Baron Castle shortly, unleashing the king of all summons onto the poor king and queen of Evelyn in Baron Castle, and Rex is Rex is trying to trying to find what else he is able to do at this point.
Well, meanwhile, while we do that, we actually have a first place finisher. Antidale has finished with a time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 34 seconds. So GG to Antidale.
Yeah, and this is now we are at the point where things are going very sideways for Awesome Morpheus. If his NAF is right, he's going for a direct nuke. He has to hope that this actually kills, otherwise we are in trouble. Ooh, but was enough. We're about to find out pretty shortly.
The black hole gives you time to kind of reset.
No, but he must have counted because that is time on Possum Morpheus' side. He is done in second place with a time of 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 17 seconds, sniping Flurry 14, who finished third with a time of 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 32 seconds. GG's to our racers. That was a close one.
Wow, yeah, what an incredible finish to come down to it.
Yeah.
We're waiting to see if we're going to be joined by Possum for an interview.
In the meantime, yeah, Clopper going through a pretty stock standard Zerka fight. Shouldn't have too many issues as well. We have a white mage, we have 2 Zerkas going. Should be well and truly through. And we are in fact joined by our second place finisher Possum Morpheus. GG's Possum, and congrats on the great run.
Well, thank you. That was an interesting one. It had all the elements of everything I hate about Free Enterprise, all bundled into one little happy thing of joy.
What, you didn't like Meteor as the Witchburn?
I didn't like it the first 3 times.
We had just an absolute riot here just watching that. But we have to say, I mean, it was quite a treat, watching you, like kind of the wheels turning as to how you could set your party up, setting Fu up to, with the Stardust Rod and the Sork Robe, to, do just enough damage before, he could get that Meteo off. But that was extremely rude, yes.
I thought it would be fun if I could get the Rydia nerf to go off with the Chocobo cast, where it would actually reduce the spell power of Meteo down to 6, which is the spell power of the counter nuke there. But that didn't happen even on battle speed 6, so that was a little disappointing, so I wanted to show off that little bit of tech.
It's fine. I discussed this just as it was coming, as that came up. So
yeah. we were talking about that and saying, if you had Sylph instead, because there was Sylph in the seed, then that could have, because I think Sylph has no delay, right? Does that come out right away?
Basically no delay. It would certainly be quick enough to trigger.
But was that pretty much just you choosing, just like you said, just to show off the check instead of just going, anywhere else in the seed? Like, was that just, you just want to find a way to clear through it at that point?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at 2 possible key item checks because Warp Glitch is on, and also a character check, which could be one of 2 characters that would be really good. One is Sid because he's an objective, and 2 is Cecil because I have a crystal sword. So I was looking for either one of them, and it was one of those things where it's like, well, I should probably try to get through this. How do I want to go about it? I thought the whole chocobo thing would work. It didn't. So then I was like, well, let me go play around on the tower and contemplate. So the whole time I'm up on the tower, I'm just thinking, what's my best solution for this wyvern? And then I forgot to put the Sorkrobe on the third time through. And I was like, yep, that 6900 is not going to work. Now I need to jump instead of attack. So it was one of those like, okay, yeah, as you said, gears are turning, but it's a tricky situation.
Yeah, it's funny. And Phineas mentioned even that same thing. Like, he's like, yep, Possum's got to be thinking this whole time doing this tower run, how is he going to get through this this wyvern here? So, yeah, you called it in Phineas.
I guess I played Possum too well.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've played 1 or 2 seats together and talked a fair amount, so that's not at all surprising to hear Phineas inside my brain.
Fair enough.
So imagine not checking the Mega System spot for a potential D-miss when you're going up doing when you're doing the Flame Dog chest. What are the odds of that not punishing you?
I mean, if it is, bless whoever checks it. I ain't got time for that 1 in 34.
It's funny. I also figured that you're going to make that gamble as well. No, you too well, Possu.
Indeed.
Speaking of, not knowing you whatsoever, when you, I think, what was it? Was it the Bygone spot? When you did the coffin on, what was that? Sid, I think, or Fu, I can't remember now, but you also had thrown out a coffin on Porum. We have to imagine that was a mistake on your part?
No, I was clearly trying to optimize my living characters, ignore the fact that Rydia had a curse ring on. That probably should have gone to her, but it happens. Also, probably should have taken the Avenger off, and maybe remembered Golbez was the starting boss. It is what it is. You can't be too upset about finishing second while you're spending a lot of time doing fun things.
I mean, like talking to the NPCs on the hook route, because apparently hook routes are the worst.
They are. Could have found a magma key, but no, had to go down the hook.
I mean, I believe I'm not sure if I saw correctly, but you could have gone to LST, because I'm pretty sure that's where the magma key was.
Yeah, LST, one of the trap chests, we saw in the spoiler log, had the magma key. So, yeah, you could have done that.
I could have done that. I could have. That would also involve me knowing where the trap chests are on the lunar subterranean. Not gonna lie, that is not my strong suit right there.
With the team that you had, yeah, I don't... Nobody was really super geared up to, or jazzed up for that matter, to want to take any of those chests except for the hairdryer chest in the Lunar Pass.
Yeah, I took a gamble on that hairdryer chest early, and the 30,000 XP from it was instrumental in getting everybody rolling. I think the entire tone of the race changes if that check doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of XP to get at that point. Yeah, we were both thinking the same thing.
And honestly, it really helped going all the way back to the beginning of the seed. YOLOing the Grimoire to just get a couple levels and an extra character up on Hobbs, and it coming out Bahamut, was really, really nice. That allowed me to just kind of have a single stop there, a single item, a single menu, get a character, get Rydia to the point where she could cast a Leviathan, and then really kind of move from there.
Yeah, getting, again, I totally agree. Like, getting those levels early on was a very big deal, because it allowed you to just plow through Eblin very efficiently as well with the Leviathan. Yeah, I don't have any other. One more thing I probably want to ask. So you end up climbing ordeals at about the hour 10 mark or something like that. And then, so were you just doing that just to see if that was just the Baron key and nothing else?
Basically, I have a hate-hate relationship with Twin Harp, and so I figured I would save outside of Troya, throw myself up Mount Ordeals, see what's up there, get a random crumble skip because that's my favorite thing in Free Enterprise, and if it was nothing, reset back out, and it was nothing, so, reset back out, and then go do Twin Harp.
No.
So there was no chance whatsoever you would have sat through it in hopes of finding a Cecil anywhere.
I think I knew there was a Cecil already from the package.
Yeah, you would have, yes. You would have known.
Or what about from Zod as it ends up turning out?
Crystal Sword Cecil's nice, but I kind of had a plan already. If I was really focused on the power couple and stuff like that, I'd have taken Rosa from the Sand Ruby. I think we need to show off the otherworldly talent that is Porum, and not just always rely on the superior White Mage, the preeminent White Mage in Free Enterprise, or the preeminent Berserker in Free Enterprise and Cecil. So we got to show off Porum and Kane tonight, along with a Splash Iridia.
Fair enough. I mean, that Leviathan carried you early, and then having that Avenger on Kane, really did good work. The Z fight at the end was a little scary, but getting that direct nuke to end the fight was I don't know if that was calculated on your part, but that was quite something.
I knew I was one cast away. I thought the white was going to fire before the second Big Bang. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done things like randomly try to cough in the Porum for fun in the Z fight and, other things. I thought it was going to fire. I thought I had to damage. I didn't. It's whatever. Sid was not going to die unless he took a heroic high roll, which I think that's an 8-roll Big Bang at 2400. He was at 2446. So I don't think there was any way possible he was going to die there. So I knew I would be able to get a Black Mage back up. Black Hole would come out. I'd fire a nuke and win anyway. So it was not really a worry, regardless of how it turned out.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Yep. I'm out of questions. Do you have any other questions, there, lady?
I do not. GG's once again.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Leggy, thank you so much for the seed with so many of the things I detest about Free Enterprise in it. Sheep Launcher, thank you so much for the expert tracking. Infinius and Lady, thank you so much for what I am sure were amazing comms. I look forward to watching this one back. And I hope everybody has a blessed and wonderful evening. Time for me to go play some ZZ1 Evolved.
Enjoy another race. But yeah, wow. Now with after the interview, we just had a slew of finishes. You can see Klopper with finishing in 4th place with a time of 1:48.09, Poydrak with a time 5th place with a time of 1:48.33, and in 6th place, PK4787 with a time of 1:48.41. GG's to all of them because that was all very close. We're just going to see if we're going to get them in for an interview. Looks like we're going to have Klopfer come in, and then we'll have Poydrak afterwards. So we'll see how things go from there. In the meanwhile, Rex. So I'm trying to remember. So it looks like it was. Sheila 2 was the Rat Tail tune, so I think. But anyway, we are in fact joined by Klopfer. GG's Klopfer, and congrats on finishing on your 4th place finish.
Hey, thanks, GG's. It was a lot of fun. I saw that this was loot goblins, and I just love opening treasure chests. I couldn't resist joining in this race.
That fair enough. So So how much did you like that the witch burn from the wyvern?
Oh, I got into the wyvern fight, and I was like, oh, it's fine. This is Witchbird, so this will be no problem. And then that video, I just facepalmed for half a second, and it's just like, what? Can't be reflected. What do I do? I have my low cheat sheet of all the like boss stats and things. So I'm like, he's slow, right? And I opened up the spot. It's like, okay, I can get through this. Let me just go ahead and stop anchoring. Then my turn orders came up in not the way I expected. Too many cat claws on Yang, which I forgot about. So that nuke didn't go off. And then when it didn't go off, it rolled really low.
Yeah. Okay.
That wyvern fight didn't quite go. Well, I was like, I can do this. The second one didn't go the way I wanted, and I dropped right down to wyvern standard time. And the fight went exactly as I planned. I didn't need to be that slow. But anyway, we got through the fight.
Oh well.
And I was glad I stuck with it because there was some important items there, if I recall.
The warp glitch ended up giving you the earth crystal. So that because the alternative was to, which you end up finding out eventually, was to do the last time chest on the giant to get the Luca key, and then walking that out.
Yeah, I mean, I did find the Luca key, but I'm definitely glad I took the warp route to it much faster.
Yeah, and also there was a tornado lady that was racing in the evil wall spot. So you know.
Oh, very happy then I got to avoid that. So yeah, I've missed that warp glitch many times before, so I was very much thinking of it. And I'm not sure if you noticed even before going into that, I checked if Fu had warp, so I knew if I could get rid of Rydia or not. So I was like double checking in multiple ways to be able to do that.
Okay, yeah, that's smart. That's smart. I didn't consider. I did not even notice that at all. But that's a good heads up play to do. Yeah, it's a short menu. So one question I did actually have for you. So if you go up Tower Zot and you find because there's two characters there. You find the Sid. You now know that you are basically in a Baron Key Go mode.
Yep.
You opt to go up to Giant Battle to do the last arm chest first before doing the Twin Heart chest. Talk me through that choice.
So both of those are equivalently equal to being in a key item check. So the way the trap chests work is, if it's the only trap chest inside that location, then it is inside the key item pool. And they take roughly the same amount of time. And I actually kind of thought less people might do that last arm check. So I was like, I can go ahead and do that. And hey, if it pays off, that might get me ahead. If it doesn't, that's fine. I'll just go ahead and do the Twin Harp after. So it was a little bit of their equal chance of getting me a key item. And I do think I can do the other one faster. So.
Okay, no, fair enough. That's a reasonable explanation. You are in a.
Fair. I didn't time it out. Yep. I might be wrong. They might not be. It might be faster. To Twin Harp.
It makes sense.
It's just your perspective,
yeah.
Right?
I mean, the way that we were both talking about it, we're like, are you looking for DMIS? But now that you explain it, you're like, you know what? You're right. It's a quick enough key item check, and if it doesn't pan out, you reset out and you're done. Yeah, and then you move on.
Yep. So it didn't pan out, but it was fine. It was fast enough. It didn't seem to cost me too much time. I found that wipe against Aromas was a little more painful.
Yeah. No. It was just unfortunate. You just got to
Yep.
Yeah, just got Big Bang into Meteo, and then you need to have Young make dodge rocks and didn't. So which he's not known to do. So
exactly. I had actually gotten a little bit of extra magic defense on Kane, hoping he might be able to dodge some rocks if that came down to it, but fortunately he just didn't get it. And when I saw I was only Yang up, I'm like, this is not likely to end well, which sure enough it didn't. It came close to also ending that way in the second run, but having Fusoya up, I felt a little more confident on him dodging some rocks.
Yeah, and then once you got the cure for off, you're home free.
Totally safe. I literally put my controller down at that point, so it was fine.
Yeah. It's fair.
So, definitely one thing I was thinking through the entire seed, though, was I had that crystal sword sitting there taunting me in my inventory, and I had backed out of the alt gauntlet because I did my kick, nothing died, and I was like, I have no AoE, I don't want to sit through all these fights. And then, sure enough, multiple Cecils were taunting me in the seed. And did how many other people went for that alt gauntlet?
Absolutely nobody
No
on
one on restream.
on Restream.
No one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So I feel like I'm in good company there. But yeah, I didn't even want to sell that crystal sword. I just left it there, taunting me, being like, there's a Cecil somewhere in the seed. I know it. And then of course I stumble across two. One being very easy to pick up. Then of course that crossed my mind again at the White Buns Aromas. My thought was like, okay, I have enough power when I know where Cecil is. I can go ahead and do ordeals. That will probably cost me more time than it will save in any of these hard boss fights. But with the Wipes' Aromas, it probably would have been time save. But always hard to tell.
I mean, yeah, you also have to factor in the grind time as well, because you would have to if you had sirens, you have to then use sirens somewhere, probably probably the moon at this point. Like if you have outclasses, so
would be the ribbon room to just keep them alive through that fight. But you're right, it definitely is interesting on how to get that XP on them.
Yeah, that's also true. Like you could, in that spot, I guess you could try to do a sister grind, but like, who really wants to do a sister grind of all things?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sure,
you go on.
For sure, definitely, it's a lot of fun. I very much like the mix there. It's definitely different running trap chest versus more common we do K summons and like K moon. So having to route in all of those. Where are the trap chests? And I definitely went and checked my notes in the middle of the race too, being like, did I miss any of these trap chest locations? Am I going to the right places? So definitely fun to do these different flag sets, and I'm really enjoying the different ones we're coming up with here for the community races.
No, it was a pleasure to watch you try, puzzle through the sea, because this was actually a fascinating one to try and work out. Work out on the fly. Yeah, I'm out of. Yeah, so I'm out of questions for Clopper here. Do you have any other questions, lady?
I do not. No. Very efficiently run. GG's to you. It was pleasure watching you race. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, that's all I've got.
Great. Well, I definitely did enjoy it, and big shout out to everyone here on the Reshoot team. I know it's a lot of work to do all of this, to just do all the organization and actually run these. I really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to join in on the races, and just big thanks also to the entire Free Enterprise community. It's a really great community here. If you enjoyed watching the races and you're not playing, jump in. Everyone's real friendly.
Cheers, Black Cloffer, and again, GG's for the 4th place finish. So that was Cloffer, our 4th place finisher. Hopefully we'll be able to drag in our 5th place finisher, Project, in shortly. Once again, we see Rex is now on the right path, is about to get his Barracky and be in go mode pretty shortly. In the meantime, we do have a 7th place finisher in Twisted Flax, finishing with a time of 1 hour and 56 minutes flat. So, GG's to Twisted Flax. This was an interesting seat to try and work out. So, no surprise that it might have taken some time to try and piece together.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I guess that's part of the trick with K-Trap, is that sometimes you feel frisky and say, "Oh, let's do moon trap chest." But enough of that thought. We are now joined by Poydrak. GG's on your 5th place finish. Did you like that Witchburn?
I did have a few bumps on the head. I think a rock hit me.
That's the appropriate response.
So talk us through like your thought process of trying to work out how to get through that fight, because it was an interesting one in the end.
As soon as I saw it, it's just, I've got the resources for this. All I need to do is get a little bit lucky on the rolls. Cursed Ring and Battle Speed 6 eventually. Wanted Battle Speed 5 for the next fight, but yeah. But Battle Speed 6, I can get at Virus off quick, I can get that Nuke off quick, I can get one punch in off of Yang. Yeah, that's easy enough, as long as the rolls go my way, which they didn't the first two. The first two attempts after the initial surprise.
Yeah. You probably if you go and watch this back, you'll probably hear a bit of laughter from myself and from Lady in here. It was
just a bit, yeah, just a bit of
yeah.
laughter, a little bit, a couple chortles, you know.
Well, if you were
chuckles.
close enough to me, you might have got a couple of heard a couple of chuckles as well. But no one's close to me, so.
Oh, look, it's just an ocean or two.
Yeah.
Depending on.
Maybe a time zone or two away, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. My biggest takeaway from this particular seed is I really feel that Leggy Starscream is sitting in her chair, in her Rubicante leggings, sitting back, laughing.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree with that. I would assume the exact same thing. That was in fact an interesting thing to have brought, especially the Zeroma sprite.
Yeah.
Being so fitting for our restreamer.
Yeah. Final Fantasy IV has a way, well, at least Free Enterprise has a way of giving us appropriate things in all the wrong places. So, yes, there it is. I do wish the trump chests were a little bit more forthcoming in the seed, but
I mean, if you didn't want to deal with that wyvern, you could have just gone up the giant, got the Luca key, and then dive Seal Cave, and fought Val there.
yeah, but no.
I mean, fair.
Wyvern Medio or Val at Sealed Cave. Yeah, that's a real choice there.
Yeah, the only real thing of note in the actual trap chest that I can seem to remember is underground access. One in Zot, and one on the last trap chest on the moon.
Yeah.
The magma key being up there.
Yeah. Look, I mean, that was doable. It's only the wall carry chest. Yet you start with hourglasses, and yeah,
and I had power overwhelming with the starting things that I found: Leviathan, the Quorum, hourglasses, as you said. Yeah, power overwhelming, ready for it. But you don't really want to risk it on that one chest, which is right at the back.
Yeah, especially since I suppose Paul would have gone exit during that time, so you could have exited out once you did that. But yeah,
I had exit after the hairdryer chest, so I could have easily went down, but I chose just to get a little bit more experience in that guard fight on the Bahamut throne. Yes, I did know there was no key item on it, but you don't pass up a free fight like that. If to just get levels on free characters that really need it.
Yeah, that's a fair point. We because I did see you do that. And it's like, I guess you really want the XP, which completely makes sense. Like, is being able to get more Leviathans on Iridia, more hit points on Iridia, more hit points on Porum, because they desperately need those things. So to be able to actually be viable. So that makes complete sense. Like,
it just also allowed me to power through the overworld. Just Leviathan, and Berserk on Berserk Porum up, Berserk Yang up. They're doing thousands in the way of damage. We're really doing multiple thousands. The overworld didn't stand a chance after that. So
that was pretty much how every other runner on Restream did. It was just the Leviathan show, which makes total sense.
Yeah, Leviathan, and yes, you'd rather have Bahamut. Everyone would rather have Bahamut. But Leviathan is very good in its own right. And when you find multiple, it's also a very good source of money.
Yes, that as well.
That's true. You know, I just remembered there was the Evil War in King Queen Evelyn, and it was nothing because we got all those levels in the end.
It almost got me.
That's amazing.
It almost got me. But yeah, by that time Fu was in the party. Yang had enough damage behind him to just go once he was berserked up, and he can take a couple of hits. So yeah, Evil War in that spot, if you didn't go to the moon first, definitely would have put a wrench in the plans and would have guided people up to the moon, definitely, to get a few levels.
Yeah, and also that was a very early nuke on Fu as well. I should mention that was like 1100 nuke, I think. That's incredibly early.
It's fairly early, but it's the only things that I really had Fu useful for in that was, yes, that Wyvern, and needed him for that. He helped with the Evil Wall fight, but apart from that, he was basically my anchor, just sitting in the middle, at 5 agility, letting everyone else around him go just ham. And because it just wasn't needed in the end. And sure, I could have had Porum as the anchor, but why?
Yeah, why?
Porum was doing in her bit, and she gets more agility later. So no need to change the formation.
Yep, no, completely understood. Like, for these kind of seeds, any white mages is a blessing. So and you didn't really want by the time you got the Sand Ruby, which was hook route, right? So you had no real incentive to make any changes there because it involves getting out of the hook route. You need the levels to be able to push through what it was there anyway.
Yeah, and considering what I actually had already, I had levels. I had at the tower key. I wasn't going to go anywhere until that had been done. And I had the dwarf castle with the warp glitch to do. I got the panned in the tower. So pretty much the underworld was ready and there for taking. So, and by that time, and all the trap chests down there. So by that time, getting Rosa just wasn't viable at all. Or because yes, you could have caught up a little bit by the end of it, because I did get quite a bit of experience after that. But again, why change something to go out of your way?
Exactly. Yeah, it takes time to get. If it takes time to upgrade and then time to level, it's probably not worth the time to do that in the end.
Yeah, and it would have been messing around with formation again, because Rosa, if I did go and get her, she would have had the cursed ring thing, been in the center until she got those levels, and Fu would have had to move to the bottom. So, yeah, it's little things like that which are the difference between going fast and losing by 10 minutes.
No, all those things add up. I completely understand that. It all makes perfect sense to me. Yeah. So I am absolutely tapped out of questions. Do you have questions for Podrak lady?
No, I think honestly you covered everything that I was going to ask. GG's on your finish. You as well as all our other restreamers or on the restream tonight were pretty efficient in your routing, and especially getting through that wyvern was definitely the highlight of the night. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that I got as good a position as I have. I haven't really felt great with my runs lately, so this one this week has been a little bit of a resurgence for me after a couple of races earlier this week, and this one today doing fairly well. Not getting the win, but doing fairly well, being happy with my own play. So I'm happy I joined in, happy to be restreamed for everyone. I wish everyone the most happy of evenings and a good weekend, and I would like to hear from you or speak to you, or you'll hear from me soon. Who knows?
GG's Boy Drake, and hopefully England get the win over Italy in a couple nights time.
I was trying not to think about that.
Oh, okay,
Have a
you
good
won't.
evening,
Okay.
everyone.
Cheers.
All right, well, that was Poitrak. Yeah, GG's to them. In the meantime, we did have a couple of other finishers. We have Rowdy Roddy Sniper finish in 8th place, 2 hours and 8 minutes and 20 seconds. And Tybolt finishes in 9th place, 2 hours and 8 minutes and 21 seconds. So a little bit of sniping there. And then right now, NG Dave finished 10th place with a time of 2 hours and 12 minutes and 6 seconds.
GG's to all of them. We're just seeing Rex just doing up a little bit more grinding, just trying to get Nuke onto Rydia, and I'm sure we'll be on his way down to the Zeromus fight shortly.
Yeah, it looks like, they trying to just get Nuke up onto Rydia and just go for just really full power overwhelming here at this point. Yep, does get the Nuke on Rydia. I would have to think...
Oh! Pink Puff! Yes!
Is that what we're going for here? We're doing it? Oh my goodness.
We have done it. It's done.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is fantastic.
But yeah, let's dance. I mean, you know that you do know that there's a whole bunch of finishers. You know, when you're on Restream, why not? Why not do the swag?
So explain to everyone watching what's going on here. Like, what's the Let's Dance? What's the allure of doing this fight?
So this is the weirdest. This is probably the weirdest room in all of the vanilla game, because if you turn up here, it's the rarest encounter you can get in that specific room on the Lunar Subterrane, and it just has a chance to drop an adamant armor. Or drop a pink tail, you hand in the pink tail to the tail collector down on the earth, in the adamant grotto, and you'll get an adamant armor. We did get a drop, so just an elixir, but look, gotta swag it out. So now the reason why someone would do this is that even though the no adamant flags is on, that is the only way you can still get the adamant armor drop from the pink puffs, because the pink tail is a key item. So, Rex just showing off a bit there, hoping to get an armor drop live on Restream. Only gets a drop, but it's only an elixir, which I believe is the common drop. So, we did get the one, I think it's 164 to get an item drop in this game. So, got slightly lucky, but not lucky enough.
Now they said they wanted to dance. They said, let's dance. Is that just thematic flair? Do they actually want to dance, or what happens when they do that?
Well, basically, when that happens, what happens is that the pink puffs will attempt to berserk your entire party, and then assuming no one passes if everyone fails the resist to get berserked, what just happens, you just sit there and everyone just attacks each other randomly, and you just sit there and you can't do anything. While the music changes from I forget how it starts, but there goes for a few different bits of music within that you can find within the game.
The best part about that is that is not a free enterprise thing. That is purely vanilla. That is everything about it, the music, the encounter, the drop, that's all part of the original base game.
Yeah, and this is one of those things where if you're running this as a kid, it's one of the more unique it's one of those things that you would hear in rumors in school, right? Like, it's like if you were talking to friends about playing this game, it's like someone might brag. I went into this room because there was a chest there, and I ran across this weird enemy, and I got this tail. It's like, what does this tail do? What do I do with it? You know, it's one of those things that you speak in whispers in the school grounds, because no one would actually believe you. This is before the times of things like the internet or going to like a message board and asking what does this pink tail do, kind of thing.
We had Nintendo Power back then. That was our resource for information.
Yes.
So yeah, there was no internet, there was no Google, there was no game FAQs or what have you. It was Nintendo Power, and like you said, the schoolyard. I knew about the Lunar Pass. I think, is there a pink puff there? But that pink puff room in the LST, I had no clue about until playing Free Enterprise.
Actually, that's a good question. Did Nintendo Power even actually have anything about the pink puff room at all?
I remember seeing nothing about that. I remember hearing about the Lunar Pass, but certainly nothing about the pink puff room. But Scala Kitty is saying yes, but then is not sure. Although Commander Leonhard does mention there was a 1-900 number to call. Maybe they would have known. Maybe we could, get ourselves a time machine, go back in the past, and call, at a, probably $3.99 an hour, I would say.
Wow, that's only $3.99 an hour. I would thought it would be more pricey than that.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it was a little bit more than that. Yeah, probably $3.99 a minute. Yeah, a minute.
That shows more my memory of how those things would have worked. Like I'm pretty sure if I called, I would have been grounded for all eternity. So
I would have lost all of my privileges for all of all of time. Did I call those numbers? I heavily thought about it, let me tell you.
No, I guess Nintendo Power isn't those phone lines will. I don't know if Australia actually had any of those numbers. I don't remember. All right, Scala Kitty is posting things in chat. I am obliged to look. Oh, that. Okay, those are some cute pink puffs. I'll concede that. They look so happy too. Like one's even got like a shell as a horn.
Oh, they are cute. Look at them. They are adorable. Not to completely ignore the action on the screen, we do see Rex Banner is into their leg Z fight as well. Now at this point, setting up slow, setting up looks like going to be doing hybrid strats of their own here.
Yeah.
But yes, back to the pink puffs.
Well, if you want to talk about the Pink Puff League, that is a league that's going. No, that's Oscar 4FE has set up. So that league is actually caters for the new runners in this in this community. I believe the next flag set they're doing next week involves push B to jump, and which I helped curate with Oscar and also Solaris. So hopefully that is a very good introduction to the joys of being able to push B to jump, because you can push B to jump and push B to jump.
So you push B and you jump.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, very
Now
descriptive.
you can't actually jump in battle though, right? I mean, that would be silly.
No, you actually can jump in battle, and then there are some use cases of why you would do this, in fact.
So even if you're not Kane, you could have Iridia just jump in battle.
Yep, you can have Talon jump in battle. You can have Teller jump in battle.
You know what? Admittedly, I have not used too much of the push B to jump actually in battle because half the time, I'll be quite honest, I just forget about it.
I mean, fair. Sometimes if you come across like an antlion who you don't want to suffer the counters, like pushing B to jump is very good there. If you want to avoid having to go through all the slow casts from Pale Dim, that's also very good. CP is also a very good use case because you really want to target the main boss and not have to have the back row bit. Oh hey, look at that! Rex has completed the seed and has finished in the 11th place with a time of 2 hours, 21 minutes and 56 seconds. And we're going to see if he is going to join us for an interview.
And it looks like he has agreed, so we are just waiting for him to join us now. And we are joined by Rex Banner. Rex Banner, GG's to you.
Howdy, folks. Thank you. That was a lovely start I had to the seed.
I mean,
yeah. Initial thoughts after completing that?
It was a good time. The sprite at the end, perfect for since Leggy rolled this, and that wyvern, beautiful.
I know.
I wonder how many people actually went through it. By that point, I'd already lost. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it for the fun of it.
Everyone else on the stream did it pretty early. Basically the way, basically for a combination of having early nuke on Fusoya, just direct targeting, and that was like battle speed 6. That was enough to do the 8-ish thousand. Or 8,200, so to get through that spot once and not have to suffer the meteor. I will let you know that Possum did try it on his second attempt to try to nerf the meteor, but wasn't fast enough because he didn't have the Sylph summon.
That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's very fair, very fair. So you actually did a very early peek in the Giants. Talk us through that.
Well, I know that I've heard that the chests by themselves have a higher chance of having loot, of like having a key item compared to the higher quantity chests. So I find places like the hair dryers, the last arm, doggo seem to have a better chance of having a key item compared to going to Sylph Cave and be lower subterrane and tower just because of the one chest.
Yeah. Okay. No. Understandable that logic flies. It was just an interesting call to do it as early as he did, comparatively. And it did enable you to fade that wyvern in the end, so that was nice. Even if you didn't end up face tanking it anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll see. So the other interesting thing is that before going through the hook route, you end up taking that Rosa, and then you just went up to LST4 to do a grind before going through the hook route. Talk us through that decision.
Well, I had a plan. Like saw the Rose. I like her better as a hero than Porum. So my initial plan was, well, I'll grab her, I can go. I got the mute bells. We'll go to LST4, do the Warlock grind, and then I'll go do Ribbon Room. Well, by the time I finished the grind, someone saw a shiny object and got distracted and forgot their plan.
Ah, I see. Okay, yeah. Look, shiny objects are in fact distracting, so I won't fault you for that.
That's fair. Yeah, I think we can agree with that.
Yeah, I had this great plan. I'm like, oh yes, we'll do this. This is going to be great. And then it warp, and I click the crystal, start heading back, and I'm like, look at my objectives. I'm like, oh, that's right. That's why I went back to the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So also, yeah, another thing you did that was interesting, and I wanted to hear your thoughts on this. Was you actually go, because I believe you actually end up going into Cape Harbor. See that it's a free fight, then you end up taking it off. Well, I think you unfortunately took a wipe the first time. Talk us through that choice, because that is even because you know it's K summon is off.
Yeah, just some quick free experience. I can't remember if I seen the sirens at that point, but I know that spot gives a fairly decent level, and with being I didn't know if it was the guards or the officer and soldiers off the start. I'm like, well, it's easy enough. I had a mute knife and I had the assassin dagger. I'm like, well, if I can get the hourglass off at the right time, I can just one-shot them. So the first time I tried to just snipe the officer, but it didn't work. So second time, like, well, I'll throw my hourglass out, and it failed. The third time I went, I got the hourglass out, but I wasn't getting my swoon effects, and that's when it finally clued into me. I forgot to redo Edward as my anchor, and that's why everything was sort of all off timing. Because usually, if I would have had my anchor, probably I could throw the hourglass out, they do their attack, and then because they're locked at the dead ATB gauge, you can get the one-hit swoons.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't actually mention that as a thing. So yeah, that makes sense.
I just messed up when I realized I messed up my anchoring, and that's why nothing was working great there. Yeah.
I mean, in the end, you still got the XP in the end, so that's a burn. That's a burn. That's the main thing you're going for anyway, right? So.
Yeah, I knew the summon wouldn't give anything, but it was some free XP that I figured I can get. And normally, if I'd anchored right, it would have been a lot quicker, and I would have never wasted as much time as there. But yeah, just the anchoring issue and not getting the hourglass out to lock them into 0 ATB gauge messed it up.
Yeah. Also, I am a big fan of deciding to swag by going into the pink buff room and using a siren there. I wholeheartedly approve.
Oh yeah, we absolutely love that. We had such a riveting discussion in chat about that. That was very much worth it. We appreciated that.
That's good. I figured I was probably the last one on Restream, considering I was up against some 3 pretty amazing runners. I'm like, well, I have extra sirens. We might as well make this interesting for chat since they've stayed up this long to watch me finish this.
And we appreciate it because got to talk a bit. Because it basically spoiled a whole discussion about puff princesses and and whatnot. So it was great. But yeah, I am actually out of questions for Rex. Do you have any further questions there, lady?
No, I am good. GG's on your finish, Rex.
Alrighty, well, thank you folks very much. Thank you for the commentary. Thank Leggy for the restream. I'm gonna say she's a cheap launcher that did the tracking, and just for everyone putting these on. I always enjoy these community races. They've been a lot of fun.
Yeah, cheers for allowing us to restream your side of this race, and GG's again for finishing.
Okay, thank you, folks. You have yourselves a good evening.
Thank you. You as well. All right. Well, that was Rex Banner, and that was the last of our restream runners. Stick around, though. We actually are going to be sticking with more free enterprise. We're going to be rating Elven Sorrow, a newer runner who's doing some push speed to jump practice. So definitely, show them some love, show them some support. For myself, I'm Lady Id, joined by Infinius. Sheep Launcher was our tracker, and we had Leggy doing the restream tonight. So thank you to everyone, involved in this tonight. We'll be rating over to them. And Infinius, you have any last thoughts?
I am sad we didn't get to see more Lunar Trap chests, but that's all right. But again, feel free to give Elven Source some support. I'm sure they'll be listening. They'll be very welcome to hear some advice for push me to jump. But yeah, again, thank you, Lady Id, for doing commentary with me. Thank you, Lady Starstream and Sheep Launcher for reissuing tracking. And yeah, let's go give Elven Source some love.